My best friend passed. Now I'm taking in her kid. I had posted a few times before on Reddit about my fiance and I, about my not wanting kids, our engagement, the love we have for each other. For the most part, my posts have had happy endings, but this one just isn't a really happy one. No.
Well, we'll see about it.
No.
We'll see what we can do about that.
My goddaughter, but we do refer to each other as niece and Tia. I've been there for her whole life, and she has always been one of my favorite people and still is. It's been a really hard several months since the accident, and everyone is having a tough time. I have spent most of my life with my best friend in it than without him. Our parents are best friends due to us being friends at first. I refer to his mom as Mama, his last name, and dad as Papa, his last name. And he did the same with my parents. My siblings were his siblings. He was an only child. We went to events/concerts together a lot so many times since he passed. Multiple times since he passed. I've subconsciously bought him a ticket. Forgetting that he wouldn't be able to use it. I introduced him to his wife in high school. We were the only two openly nerdy cheerleaders at our school. They got pregnant young, and I was there to help, and I even went so far as to stop eating foods she couldn't eat because I could tell being pregnant was not fun for her. I was at the hospital because she was scared and asked me to be close by. I was the first non-blood family member to see Amy. I say all of this because him and his family are indeed my family. So them passing was a huge hit for everyone, especially for Amy. Now, the month when it happened, Amy went to stay with her grandparents. Luckily, we all stay in the same big cities, so the farthest anyone of the family is from the other is an hour at most, and that's mainly due to traffic. The issue, though, is that her grandparents are much older, 70s, compared to my parents, 50s. So while they do very much love her, they are already at that point where they themselves need help. Plus, they just lost their only son and daughter-in-law. Ooh. Amy's mom's parents are out of state, and they also didn't believe moving her to them and away from everyone she knows was the right thing either. Her grandparents overall didn't think Amy staying with them was the best for her, and they relayed that to my parents, who then mentioned this to me. So after talking to my fiance about it, as well as talking about it in therapy, which included me, my fiance, and both our therapists.
Oh, wow. It was like a tag team.
Yeah. We came to the conclusion that we would be happy to take her in since we're financially capable, have the space, and we do also just love her so much. What an angel move.
Yeah.
Like, this is not someone, I mean, I could say, like, I have a lot of family friends who I'm close to, but, like, this is still such a big, like, thing to take on.
Well, this is almost, from the way it was written, it sounds like OP feels like this is essentially his daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
Or like his niece, essentially.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
So
before the accident, she was realistically at her house at least 3 times a week. She's the reason why I even have an art room, since it was an activity we always did together. Even at 11, she's a fantastic artist. When we approached her grandparents, they were completely on board with the idea. And I do think that a part of them had hoped we would take her without them asking us directly, hence the comment to my parents. However, when we had broached the idea to Amy, she was hesitant. It turns out that she's aware that I never wanted kids and is afraid that I will hate her for having to raise her.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's so sad.
Wow, that's a really aware 11-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, maybe OP has always, like, kind of said, like, I never want to have kids, but you're my kid, you know? Something like you're the only kid I need in my life.
Well, I'm sure that OP is about to squash that immediately.
Absolutely. It 100% broke my heart that she felt that way, and I tried everything to convince her that was wrong. In the end, I told her the truth. I will never be able to replace her mom or dad, and I have no plans to. Her parents made me her godmother because they knew that I would love and care for Amy the way they loved and cared for her. I could never hate her. My fiance even pointed out that I was the one who had the idea to foster her. But I also had to stress to her that this is a new situation for all of us. We are all grieving together, and we are all jumping into this new living situation together. So there will be mistakes, but there will also be a lot of love. We also put her in therapy, which she has been very hesitant about, but after finding out that my fiance and I are both regularly in therapy, she felt a lot more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
This is lovely. You just need to like show that it's not like such a big deal, and then everyone's, doing it.
It's crazy to me that there is stigma around therapy.
My fiance has been great through all of this and my absolute rock. He was also very close to my best friend. My best friend was going to be his groomsman and was the second person my fiance asked after he asked his brother to be the best man. Wow. So they're like they were all super close.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if they're taking in their kid.
I mean, it really feels like almost like surrogate siblings.
I think so. Yeah. My best friend was the type of person who will see something and say, this looks like something so-and-so would like, so I'm going to buy it for them. So some days I'll catch my fiance staring at one of these many gifts for a long time. Or he'll say something like, I hope they both knew how much I loved them. Oh, we hold each other tighter now when we hug and kiss longer than before. When I asked about Amy living with us, my fiance was shocked and wasn't sure how he felt since change was happening lightning fast with the engagement, then the accident, and now with Amy. Yeah, I mean, that is totally fair to be like, I don't know, because that is a huge undertaking, especially when you're like, you guys had plans to get married and you lost someone, and
I'm
now
loving
you're
how
taking the kid.
open all of this communication is. It's like great. So good.
It's like, how would you feel if we did this? Because it is a huge thing. So I didn't bring it up again until a week later with I thought about it, and until he did a week later with I thought about it, and I think it would be good for all of us, but let's get our therapist together to make sure we aren't jumping the gun because we love her. Smart.
Yeah.
Amy moved in right after Thanksgiving. All the families got together for the holidays with her to remind her that she is never alone. She has her mom's family out of state, but they call often. Her dad's family, my fiance's family, out of the country too, minus my fiance's brother plus his wife. And let's not forget all of our friends and their families. There was a lot of crying, but a lot of laughing too. They have such a great support system.
They really do. It sounds like there's... Yeah, it takes a village. It takes a village.
Takes a village. You know what they say?
It's a saying that's been around for since there were villages.
I mean, there's still villages, but
same thought. Nice.
Yeah, but there's a little bit more to this. There's a lot more to the story. Her living with us is a huge adjustment, but nothing we can't handle. She's always been a sweet girl and very bubbly and loud. Since the accident, she's obviously been a lot more withdrawn and quiet, but I'm seeing sparks of herself come back briefly and slowly. We had to switch her therapist a few times, but this current one is definitely helping a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Amy really likes her too.
Good.
Her grades did slip a bit, but my fiance has made it a point to do homework with her every day, and it made her cry the first few times he did it. He asked her if she wanted him to stop, but it turns out that it just reminded her of her dad. So it really meant a lot to her that Tio was so willing to help her too. Oh,
that's actually so...
This is so sweet.
I'm gonna cry.
This is so sweet.
No. No. This is so good though.
This is really great. I mean, it's so sad what's going on, but it's just like, it really shows that, sometimes people really come together.
From literally one of the worst things that could ever happen to you as like a kid.
Yeah.
And now like just landing in a spot where everybody is there and they all love you and they all want to support you. Yeah. And also it's like it's all man.
I was expecting some rebelling, but that hasn't happened yet. LOL. It definitely will.
Being like, I know she's 11 now, but she's going to be 13 eventually.
Actually, she had been doing the absolute most. She would clean up after us because we had a chance to do it ourselves. Before we had a chance to do it ourselves. Or try to do things for us that seemed a little out of character. After some prodding, it turns out it was because she's afraid we would get rid of her if she upset us or did something wrong. Which, that was clear from those behaviors and stuff. We have stressed that in no way that has crossed our minds. We are here for her, and unless she wants nothing to do with us, we will continue to be here for her through the good and bad. But let me tell you, I cried so much that night, feeling terrible that she felt that way. I want her to know that our love is unconditional, and it always has been. We are also in the process of setting up a trust for her. Her parents left behind money, and there is money coming in from their insurance policies too. So all that is going in the trust for her. I will also help supplement this trust, plus my fiance, even though I stress that he doesn't need to. Neither myself or my fiance will touch this trust. When she turns 18, she will have access to use the money for college if she decides to go, and a set amount will be available every month to live on. If she decides not to go, then she will still have access to a set amount every month. Side note, we would prefer she go to college and will encourage it, but her dad didn't go to college and did well as an artist, and we see that she has his talents. So we just want to be supportive of any decision she makes. Oh, they're so good! When she turns 21, she will have access to the full trust to use as she wishes, but we will do our best to ensure she is responsible with it when the time comes. At the end of the day, she will be an adult, and we have to trust she will be responsible when she has access to the money. I also want to say we didn't come to this decision on our own. We consulted with all 4 sets of our grandparents, and this was what we all thought was the best approach, as well as help from a lawyer. When Amy is a little older, we will discuss this with her, but for now, she's still so young and dealing with a lot. Some nights I sleep with her in bed, with my fiance sleeping on the floor by the bed, because she cries herself to sleep and she feels so alone. I don't know if that feeling will go away anytime soon. I think about how I'm in my 30s and I still can't imagine not having my parents. So I really have no idea what she's feeling. Best I can hope for is that I can help the pain just a little bit. Amy's mom was going to be my bridesmaid, and I was going to have Amy be the flower girl, but I think I'm going to ask Amy if she would prefer to be my bridesmaid.
Oh. That's such a cute image.
So
just
sweet.
like bridesmaid, whoop, like bridesmaid. Just the height difference.
Amy looks so much like both her parents, and I see so much of their personalities in her. A part of me feels like having her up there with me will make me feel like her parents are up there with me too.
Yeah, sometimes that's how it gets.
That's life, man. And I never once imagined getting married without either of them by my side. All planning stopped the moment of the accident for that reason, and even now typing this has me crying that they won't actually be there. But also, that's a lot of pressure to put on Amy. I don't want to tell her all that. I do want to give her the option to be my bridesmaid if she wants, and if she doesn't want to, then that's also okay because she's still going to be part of my wedding. I won't even bring this up for a while because I'm still not in the headspace to plan the wedding right now. There is no real reason why I'm posting this. I tried a couple times to write out what happened, but each time I broke down or deleted it. I think I just want to vent or just feel better. Maybe to get validation that we are doing the right thing and not messing Amy up. One step at a time, I guess. And there is an edit. I'm seriously overwhelmed by all the comments. I was trying to respond to every single one, but now I'm falling behind because there are so many. If I don't respond to your comments, still know that I really appreciate your support, love, kind words. I wish I could hug every single one of you. I don't know what I was looking for posting here, but I feel immensely grateful I did because you have all shown me so much love and support. I'm just a crying mess, but just know it's definitely happy tears because I now feel like I'm doing the right thing for Amy. Thank you so much for your kind words and advice. I wrongly assumed that since I had the trust before, it would be easier, but you are right. Losing her parents has put her so on edge about losing me that she's sometimes overcompensating. I hope she understands that I always love her. Commenter says, who's chopping all these onions? Me.
For real.
OP says, OMG, this is what my fiance says to Amy when she's crying. Usually he ends up crying with her and he wants to make her laugh / smile. They'll be crying and he'll shout, the onion chopper got us again. So this 100% made me smile.
Oh, you guys,
also,
you guys got bits too?
You got bits. I'm just like, besides Amy and this wonderful, parenting that they got going on, OP's about to marry a wonderful man. OP's about to marry an amazing man. And that's lovely. Commenter, what a lovely ending for a heartbreaking scenario. I would reconsider the terms of the trust, though. I would consult with an attorney and put some terms, even if she does attend college, to dole it out slowly. And if she does not go to school, then I wouldn't give a lump sum at 21. OP says, we're still working out the trust with a lawyer and financial planner / tax guy. But since this is her money, we can only help and advise her on how to use it. Her parents didn't have a will in place because I'm sure they didn't think they needed to. The money automatically goes to Amy's guardians, which at the time was her grandparents. Like we said, we talked with all the grandparents. Whether she goes to college or not, she will get the lump sum at 21. Before then, we would set up an appointment with a lawyer and financial planner / tax guy with her in attendance. We are setting her up to succeed, but at that point, she is an adult. We have to trust her with her money, but we will always be here to help and guide her. And there is another commenter. I, of course, echo all the sentiments already said in the comments, but I'm stuck on Amy crying herself to sleep and being all alone. Have you thought about getting her a pet? I'd say a dog, but a cat or even a rodent would help. They give kids someone to talk to, someone to look after, instead of being the kid who needs to be looked after. And they teach responsibility. Wow. Could be just what she needs, something to snuggle at night and something to love unconditionally. OP says, it's like you were reading my mind. We were thinking about getting her a rabbit because her parents' nickname for her was Bunny.
This is why. Please, story gods, please do not flip this on us. Please. Continue to be good, cry.
It's gonna be happy.
Good cry.
I grew up with a rabbit, so I understand the pros and cons. Plus, Amy is so tender in the way she approaches all animals, so I know she won't be rough with a bunny. Also, our state just has an overwhelming amount of rabbits, and most get euthanized due to the shelters, so I feel like rabbits need a lot more love than they get. Anyway, my fiance and I have been toying with the idea, and I feel like your comment is a sign. To a longer comment, thank you for all the advice. We are in the process of legal guardianship already with the help of the grandparents. Adoption is something that we don't want to push or force until she feels ready, or if it is even something she wants. So consider it. We don't want too many changes to be thrown at her because there have been so many in such a short period of time. So we will try to keep everything the same, including her pediatrician. We already have pictures of her and her family up too. I have a wall full of pictures of family, friends, and Amy's dad and mom are frequent and permanent fixtures on that wall. I also gave her permission to add any pictures she wanted up, whether it's her family or friends. And I've noticed over time that she's adding to the wall, so I've taken some pictures down to make more room for her. I originally gave her the guest bedroom, but I noticed she's really spent a lot of time in the art room I have at my place, which is a room her dad helped fix up for both Amy and I to use when she would visit me. So after talking to her, I bought a bed and furniture for that room as well as a lock for privacy. She prefers the door open though, and that's her new room. She's allowed to paint on the walls, draw, do whatever she wants to that room. And don't worry, it's well ventilated.
Wow. And don't worry, it's well ventilated is the cherry on top. They're like, yeah, they really have every detail.
Yeah.
And they're doing everything right.
Everything right. She's having people over for the first time this coming weekend, so I'm meeting with some parents beforehand. I don't know why that made me so sad, but so happy. I'm nervous, but really excited to see that she's opening up more. Again, thank you. I appreciate the parent brain. Commenter says, isn't the point of godparents to raise the kid if something happens to the parents? Or is that just a label people like to use? I actually thought you were a lesbian couple because of the way you spelled fiancé.
What?
That is a female fiancé. For a man, there's only one E, fiancé.
I didn't know that.
I never knew that.
I didn't know that at all.
I thought, okay, because sometimes, a lot of the times I see in our Notion, it's spelled fiance with 2 E's, and I've just been taking out the extra E because I thought it was a typo.
Yeah, that's funny.
Godparents is a religious thing and not a legal thing are very rare. Godparents, which is a religious thing and not a legal thing, are very rarely the legal guardians after something happens to the parents unless they're blood related like blood aunts or uncles. Godparents are there to mentor and help in the raising of the child, like Sirius Black to Harry Potter. My best friend grew up Catholic but stopped practicing. However, he dubbed me Amy's godparent because he trusted me and I've been in her life since birth. Legally, guardianship went to his parents. Now we are in the process of changing guardianship over to myself. Oh, I didn't realize because I've seen both spellings used interchangeably. You learn new things every day. And there is an update. Man, oh man. Any other thoughts?
Please let the update be good. Please.
I needed to stay good. Also, Honeybee's calling me out for being a lit major and not knowing my fiance. It's been a while and people keep reaching out to check in, which I sincerely appreciate. So an update might be warranted. It won't be exciting at all, just where we are all at right now.
Okay, thank God. That's a good sign. I like that.
It's fine.
Not exciting. Nothing's
I
really
can
happened.
take that.
Everything's getting better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Side note, I wasn't sure if I gave my fiance a name in my previous post, but I will refer to him as David moving forward. And my best friend's name moving forward is Leo. First, I want to thank this community for the kind words of encouragement and concern for Amy. It's heartwarming to say the very least. To receive such support from strangers, there were so many comments that I got very overwhelmed and stopped responding, but I read every single one, and even if I didn't respond, I truly appreciate every single one of you. I just get really shy after a certain point, even though this is all anonymous, lol. Second, a lot of people were really focused on the trust. I commented on my previous post about it, so I'll add it here. Trust me, we are aware that 21 is still mentally really young. Ha.
Yeah, I see what you did there, OP.
Trust me. We consulted with all the grandparents regarding the trust, and most of them want to give her a lump sum at 18. The compromise was that the lump sum would be given at 21, with her having a sort of allowance from 18 to 21. I will also have her set up with our lawyer and financial advisor when she turns 18, plus myself, plus fiance will always do our best to guide her. But she will be an adult at that point, so all we can do is give her all the tools to help make the best decisions for herself when the time comes. We can always change the rules of the trust if need be, but that is something that we will decide as a family. Right now, we are happy with where we landed. David is my husband now. One night we were talking. Wait, David's your husband now. Woo!
Full on husband.
Let's husband. Don't have to do the fiance spelling anymore. Just husband.
Mm-hmm.
One night we were talking and we just didn't feel comfortable having the wedding this year, but we also didn't want to wait to be married. Life is short. So we went to the courthouse with Amy to make it official. Lovely.
Come on.
Oh, we will be having the wedding next year to make it official, LOL. We are still in therapy, both individual and family. So smart.
Mm-hmm.
We are also in a support group for children who have lost parents, and Amy seems to be doing really well. Amy is now 12. It was her first birthday without her parents, so I wish I could say it was an extremely happy occasion. This year has been a lot of firsts without them, and we will continue to have a lot of firsts without them. But she swears that despite crying a lot on the day, understandably, she wouldn't have been able to plan the day better herself, so a bittersweet success. Special mention, Amy is a best friend of 5 to 6 years, Monica, who I've known since she was 7. Monica is lovely, she's a bit sarcastic, which I find hilarious, and is a kind soul. According to Amy, she tried to distance herself from Monica because she felt like she was too sad to be around and didn't want to be a burden, which is kind of what you were bringing up earlier about like distancing yourself from people and stuff.
Yeah.
Bust herself over to our house and basically told Amy to knock it out and that she decides when Amy's too much, which will apparently never happen because Amy is her favorite person.
No way.
I love Monica.
She's also got a great best friend.
She's got a great, oh my God. We ended up getting Amy 2 rabbits as well. Why rabbits, you ask? Well, her parents' nickname for her was Bunny, and we were already planning on getting some kind of animal companion, so we landed on bunnies. Plus, our state has an overwhelming, we said that. Why 2 bunnies are social creatures and are happiest being raised with another rabbit. Amy is obsessed with paint and chalk. Haha. Oh, she's a little artist.
Those are great mediums as well.
Yes.
Paint and chalk.
Paint and chalk.
Mm-hmm.
After showing her the ropes and doing her own research, she has completely taken over any and all care for them, despite us offering several times. She even has a space in the fridge labeled buns for the fresh greens that she cuts up every morning to give them. She decorated an area in her room for them because they will be in her room at night, but they are allowed to venture around the house during the day. After we spent a full day bunny proofing.
But those bunnies, they're still going to bunny
They get
poop.
everywhere. Yeah, the bunny poop gets. I used to have a bunny, and we had to be really careful. We would let it kind of bounce around everywhere.
Well, yeah.
And we have to be really careful about it chewing the cables and stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But also we would let it kind of chill out in our backyard. And multiple times, this is when I was pretty little, or like maybe 10, multiple times it escaped into other people's yards, and we would get calls like, hey, your bunny is here.
Your rabbit's in our yard.
Yeah, and it lived a full life. At some point, we did have to send it, like we went on a trip and we sent it back to our family friend who we bought it from, who like lived on a farm. And so the bunny lived out the rest of its days on a farm.
So it's like the thing where that
it
people
was
say
literally
where they're
sent
like,
to the farm.
Your bunny went to the farm, but like this time it actually went to the farm.
No, but I remember asking my mom when we got back from our trip, I was like, hey, can we go pick up Gabriella, my bunny? And she was like, oh, yeah, sure. And then like a year later, I was like, hey, when are we picking up my bunny? And she was like, yeah, your bunny passed away.
Wait,
like, oh.
So it didn't go to the farm?
No, it did.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, no. It went to the farm, but it also died at the farm.
Okay.
Or passed away at the farm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll believe you on that.
I had
one.
pictures of it at the farm.
I'm like, Sophia, wait, is this the first moment you learned that there's no farm?
What? No, there was a literal farm, and it also passed away at that literal farm. Yeah.
Yes. Which is, what a great place to go for a bunny.
Ask for?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, Honeybee says we had 3 bunnies the same gender. A few months later, there were 9. That's how I got my bunny, because they thought they had 2 female bunnies, which was not the case. And then they had like a giant litter of bunnies that they were trying to sell. That's how I got my money. It also means Chalk only sometimes sleeping with her. Aww. It also means we are no longer sleeping in her room with her, and only a handful of times has she crawled into bed with us, like on Mother's Day and Father's Day. We are leaving for a trip to Europe/Asia next week. David and I love to travel, but I actually start to get irritable when I don't travel for a while. David jokes that I always need my fix, LOL. It's a 3-week trip starting in Poland. Fun to spend time with David's family for a week. More Polish people. Love it. And then to Asia from there. The plan was for Amy to be with us for the full 3 weeks, but she really pushed back, and we were confused about that. She only wants to go for the first week in Poland to meet David's family. Side note, his family adores her and has planned a "you're stuck with us forever" party for her. Whenever we asked about the rest of the trip, she said she didn't want to go and that we should go without her. If she didn't want to do something, we get it and don't want to force her. Understanding the why was tough for me. Does she not like traveling? No, she enjoys it. Is she afraid? No, she likes flying and thinks it's cool to see new places. Is it too much time away from home? No, she's cool with long trips. So why doesn't she want to go? She just doesn't. In family therapy, the trip came up. Finally, her reason for not wanting to join us on the rest of the trip came up. She feels like David and I are prioritizing her too much and taking her feelings into account more than we should. She feels like we aren't prioritizing our relationship or even our other friends and family. She feels like she's preventing us from doing stuff because we keep thinking about her first. No, Amy, no.
Trauma response. But I think you can get you can get in front of that.
No, that OP. If I know OP, she's gotta get right in front of that. I want to make this very clear. While David and I are prioritizing her more and 100% take her feelings into account when we plan things, we still very much prioritize each other. We have a date night every week. If we do cancel, we make up for it. Our date nights did stop for a few months after Amy moved in with us, but that was just because we needed to adjust. She spends the night at Monica's every week, and that's usually when we do date night, and we do the same for Monica's mom every week. We also go to the gym together every morning. I'm not a morning person, but I am for David, and we communicate throughout the day. But she made a very good point about our friends and other family. It's been hard to balance a kid in the mix, and we have been a little neglectful. Sure, our closest friends and family usually just come over to our house and aren't shy about being themselves around Amy, but there are events that we have missed by prioritizing Amy. I'm not saying that we made the wrong choice, but she highlighted that we need to start taking care of our other relationships now that she feels safer with us. What a
dude, these
an adult response,
These kids are getting built different.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
She seems very mature.
Me at 12, I would have been like, I don't know, I'm sad. I want to play World of Warcraft. I don't know what a relationship is.
You guys are married? What?
I wouldn't be able to be like, I really appreciate that you've taken me in, but now that I feel safer with you, you guys need to start prioritizing your friendships and your relationships with others.
Yeah, which is incredibly mature for a 12-year-old, but also she has been going to therapy. so much. So she probably is working through that.
Well, she's been getting like the emotional intelligence steroids.
Yeah. Amy really is the greatest kid. Even though it hasn't been a full year since they passed, she has changed so much. I mean, of course. I wish she didn't have to grow up as fast as she did, and I hope we can preserve some of her childhood, but I know her parents would be so proud of her. I'm so dang proud of her. I'm so dang proud of her. We tell her all the time, but I really don't think she grasps just how proud we all are of her. And by the way, we would be proud of you if you joined us live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. Just tap her profile.
Yeah, just tap her profile. You can cry with us.
We still stressed. We would love to have her on the trip with us, but she said we should have the time for ourselves. So we decided to leave the trip as is. My parents will come with us for the first week in Poland, and they will fly back with Amy with her floating between all the grandparents while David and I are traveling. We will video call her every day to check in. We are already making more of an effort with our friends and family. Amy is also spending more nights with her many, many grandparents, which she's been loving because I'm really lucky that I have 4 nanas and 4 papas.
This is amazing.
David is absolutely slaying the parent role too. He has been more hands-on with Amy's schooling. He's the one who has been handling teacher/school stuff and pickups. I do drop-offs. He has the contact information and has made better connections with the other parents of all the kids in her class, plus all her friends' parents. He's been joking about joining the school's version of the PTA, but I don't think he's joking, lol. He's definitely the extrovert of the two of us, so it isn't surprising. I could probably go on for pages and pages about David just being the absolute best, but I already feel like this update is super long. Haha. I don't know how I would have done any of this without his love and support. Well, neither of us is perfect. We are perfect for each other, which is so evident. So evident.
Every aspect of this story is so wholesome.
It's honestly crazy to me that I can still love him more and more each day. Like, how is that actually even physically possible to love someone this much? Is this even healthy? I digress, lol. I think I'm doing okay. Just like Amy is dealing with a lot of firsts without her parents, so am I. At first, I didn't think it was fair for me to even grieve since Amy's situation is just on a whole other level than my own, but my therapist has to remind me not to compare my grief with hers because it's just different.
Nice call.
Yeah.
Nice call. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Exactly.
I always say this.
He always says that.
I do. I say it a lot.
I sometimes imagine what my conversation with Leo would have been like if I told him I'm adopting this 11/12-year-old girl because her parents were my closest friends. I just got chills. He always understood why I didn't want kids, and he was so supportive about it when others disregarded my feelings. I wonder if he would have talked me out of it or if he would have encouraged me to do it. He 100% would have been part of the village of people supporting me, whether he agreed with my decision or not. I just wish I knew what his thoughts were about this whole thing. Sigh, I miss them so dang much. But I'm also really lucky to have David and Amy. I don't know who said it, but they said it best. If you want the rainbow, you gotta put up with the rain. That's it.